You know, sometimes you go to a funeral and you look at the person who's died and you say they've never looked more alive. Sometimes I come to church, I know you people are alive, but you never look more dead. You know, are we showing life? The life that is ours because of our relationship with Christ? You know, I read a statistic that said that people stop thinking about the lyrics of a song after singing it 30 times. How many times have you sang Amazing Grace? Or I Surrender All? We don't sing Onward Christian Soldiers much anymore, but how many times did you sing it in your life? Did you kind of get immune to the power behind the song? Because familiarity kind of makes you not even think anymore about what you're singing. That's the danger that we have. You walk into a lot of Christian bookstores and you find out that we are the most resourced Christians that have ever walked this planet. Even the Bible's not enough anymore. We've got to put it in new translations, put it in new bindings. We've got to add different kinds of study notes to it. And still, I think God looks at a people who are dull of hearing. Who are dull of hearing. Well, you know, what's God going to do when we yawn at amazing truths? And we don't apply them to our lives. You know, the richest Christians in heaven with the most on earth doing the least for heaven. You know, for years, Lynn and I did what a lot of parents did with boys. Every Christmas, we'd get them the new game system. They'd be all excited. Oh, we got the Xbox. We got the PlayStation, the new one. It always kept coming out with a new Nintendo or PlayStation or thing. We thought this was this wonderful gift, but the end result of that gift was we hardly saw them. They would retreat out of our presence and enjoy their gift. So the gift actually stole their affections and time from us, who are the givers of the gift. How much of your prayer list does God look at and say, you know, if I give them that, they're going to love the gift more than the giver. It's going to remove them from my presence. They're going to spend that on themselves and become more self-indulgent. It'll be a barrier from them growing and developing the character that being without that particular answer to prayer would have allowed in their life. And how much of what we're asking God for, or that God has maybe even given us, that has kept us out of His presence, we're just kind of enjoying ourselves, enjoying the ride, instead of focus more on the giver. You know, I read a book that talked about a thing called inverted Christianity. And that's where we use God for our purposes rather than surrendering to His. And it stated that Christianity is in trouble when it becomes a noun instead of a verb. When it becomes a noun instead of a verb. It was never meant to be a noun. It was meant to be action. That's why when you look at the book of Acts, it is the acts of the apostle. It's not just all their beliefs and all their creeds. It's their acts. It's what they did. They got busy. That is a recording of the brand new church. They got busy from the start. Now, how have we evolved spiritually? You know, if you look at a little cat, little fuzzy little thing, doesn't do much, just like an extra lump on a couch. And then you think about that little feline came from a lion. It kind of developed out of the cat family. You got the lion, you got the cat. Something went horribly wrong. When you look at a lion is this predator. With a cat, you open a can. You know, do we look at anything like the past? In a book called Wild Goose Chase, a guy named Mark Batterson writes about how most Christians are not in their natural habitat. They're like an animal in a zoo. And if you ever go to a zoo, it's a whole different thing to meet an animal in their natural habitat than to look at them in a zoo. You go see them in the zoo, they're lethargic, they're apathetic, they're just kind of laying around, yawning, not doing much. But you meet them in their natural habitat, you are on guard. You are avoiding them because you know how dangerous they are. Letting out church on Sunday should be like going into the zoo and somebody making an announcement, all the cages are now open. It should scare the world. They're loose again. That's what Christianity was meant to be.